Hey everyone, I am Melody Ann, and this is Confessions of a Book Coach. I'm in the process of revising and publishing my own book, and this vlog series is about my journey. This is episode 12, so we've been doing this for 12 weeks now. And what did I do last week? I found a rabbit hole. I went down it and I got lost. I've had so much kind of rolling around in my head lately. Should I send a proposal off to agents based on the feedback I received from someone who read a draft? Should I write a proposal? Writing a proposal in and of itself is a lot of work, but it's also, part of a marketing plan. The things that you would put in a proposal, you'd want to put in your own marketing plan if you want some level of success. So then I've been thinking about publishing, right? Which leads to the question, where are YA readers accessing books right now? Are they reading online? Are they reading print? Where are they reading it? Should I release it as a series on Wattpad as my audience lives there? I mean, these were all these questions. And then that research led me to who's talking about YA books. And I found out there are so many blogs and podcasts, and there's just so many places. Book Talk. I get approached marketing to the right audience in so many ways. And so that was my rabbit hole this week. I dove down, and I'm not even sure I found any solid ground, to be honest with you. But this is where I ended up, right? Here I am. So if I go the agent route, that means putting the project deadlines to the side, as a July publishing date would not work. In fact, a 2022 publishing date would not work if I went the traditional publishing route. Whew, so, big breath. Where do I start? So I have never tried to get a publishing deal for myself. I have helped authors get publishing deals, not as an agent, as a book coach. I've helped write proposals. I have helped find small publishing houses who take submissions directly from authors. I've helped create proposals that will get somebody to that publishing house. So I know how to write a book proposal for someone else. And so in making this decision, because this is something, I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, and I said, when I come to some kind of decision or when I really think about it, I'll do another vlog on it. And so that, it's been rolling around in my head, and I've been really thinking about it. And so to make a decision, I decided I needed to go back to my original goals. What were my original goals? So one, I've been holding on to this book for too long. So one, get the darn thing published. That's a big goal right there. Number two, aside from getting the book published, I also want to get it into the hands of the right readers, right? Like not just anybody, but this is for young people who have been through or have lived in a family that's dysfunctional. And I want people to read it and benefit from it, like to enjoy reading it, but also to learn that there's a way forward, like to see a path for themselves. Because I know when I was young, I had a really hard time seeing that path for myself. And I realized that being traditionally published, going to a publisher that has a ready market, that could happen faster and more easily. So that's a serious consideration. And then the third goal, of course, is to learn and grow. That is always a goal for me. I always want to try new things and grow and learn. So based on these goals and thinking about all of this, I'm going to write a proposal for a few agents who work with YA materials. That means doing the research that they want. And that means if I don't get an agent, I could take that same proposal and I could submit it to book publishers who take direct submissions from authors, smaller publishing houses. And if that doesn't work, all the work I put into this book proposal, it's just going to help me with my self-publishing journey. It's just more information. So this is a win-win-win-win-win situation. There's no loss here. It's not as though, well, I wrote this book proposal and nobody wanted the book and now, it's a waste. It's like, no, I went through this process. I wrote this proposal. I learned a great deal about the process, about the proposals, about agents, so I've helped authors get publishing deals through like direct submission to publishing houses, but I've never done this agent idea. So I'm going to learn something. So this is an opportunity for me to learn and to grow and to get better at what I do, and also to become a better writer, to understand my own writing better, my market, where my memoir might end up and how to get it into the hands of the right people. So I don't see any negatives here at all. That is why I've decided I'm going to write a proposal and I'm going to send that proposal out to agents, which mean my July deadline for publishing might get pushed back. And I had to really navigate that because as I said, I've set this book aside for so long, and I really, really want it out there. That's really important, that I no longer put this off. I had to make sure that writing this proposal and going toward, sending it out to agents. Well, I won't send the proposal. I'll send a query letter. That's how you start. But doing that process, I really needed to make sure that I wasn't using it as a way to procrastinate or put this off any longer. But I'm not. This is actually, when I really sat down and thought about it, this is a good idea. This will work. And it's win-win-win. So now I've made the decision. Once the decision was made, I started to research agents, and I decided to look at it from two perspectives. One, agents accepting manuscripts for YA, right? Obviously, it's for YA, not just any manuscript. You don't send a query to an agent who doesn't work with your genre, right? So I was looking for agents that are currently actively seeking out manuscripts for YA books like mine. Number one. Number two, I decided to look up agents who have had authors on a bestseller list, not Amazon bestseller list. I mean, New York Times or Publishers Weekly or something. So the other thing, I looked for agents who have had authors on bestsellers list. So now I have a list of agents. Some I know are actively seeking submissions. Some may or may not be actively seeking submissions, but I know that they've done well in the past with other books. So now I have this. I'm going to pick a few of each, and I'm going to write a proposal, and then I'm going to send it in. One thing I'm not going to do, which is really, really important, I'm not going to spend years pitching agents and publishers to see if they'll publish my work. I will do this. I will give it a deadline. I will do it. I will give it enough time to see if it's working or not. And then I will move forward. Whether I go with an agent, a publisher, or self-publishing, I will move forward. I don't know that deadline yet, but I will need to have a deadline. And I was reading in some of the agents, they said, wait at least 8 weeks. So let's say it takes me a month to get the proposal together and then another couple of months to wait. So that's 3 months, and we're in April, May, June, July. So that means I'm probably going to have to push back the date of publishing my book, even if I self-publish. Although what I am going to do is I'm going to continue revising the book. So I'm going to do the proposal. That's the next step. I'm going to do the proposal. I'm going to do the research. I'm going to send off the query letters. You could just send query letters with no proposal. But if somebody then says, can I have the proposal? I'd have to whip up a proposal really fast. So what I want to do is I want to have a proposal ready that I can tweak and change based on who responds, but I want to have a proposal ready so I'm not scrambling to get together a professional proposal. So I'll do the proposal. I'll send in the query letters. If I get response on the query letters for the proposal, I will adjust the proposal for that specific publishing house if need be, and I will send it in, and I will have some deadlines. So probably this is going to take me to the end of July, which means I'm pushing back my publishing date, even if I'm self-publishing, because by the time I find out whether they'll take it or not, I will have been past my self-publishing date. That's been really, really tricky for me. There's a part of me that feels like, I'm missing my deadline. I set a deadline for myself and now I'm not respecting it and I'm not honoring it. But at the same time, I had to really think about, in two things, you have two values or two things. So I have this deadline and I value meeting my deadlines, but I also have this other opportunity that will shift the deadline. And so these are two important and valuable things that are opposing each other. And at that point, I need to let one rest and decide, okay, so if that doesn't move forward, then I'll go back to this and I'll need to set a new date. So I'll do the proposal. I'll send out some query letters. And while I'm waiting back, I will continue on my marketing plan. I will continue revising the book and on my own marketing plan. It can only help a publisher if I have some idea of how I suggest it's marketed, right? So I will continue and we will see where this goes. So, all right, back to the task at hand. Once I had a look at a few of I had a few agents on my list. I looked at every single website. I wanted to get a sense of them, what it might be like to work with them. I looked at what other authors they worked with. I paid attention to the language on the website. Was it welcoming? Was it, first author friendly? Because I've never been through an agent before, so, be gentle with me. I browsed through their site. And then when I decided they might be a good fit for me and I might like to submit to them, I submit a proposal to them. It sounded funny, submit a proposal to them. I went to their submissions page and I read the entire thing. And everyone's different. The basics are the same, but everyone has different things to say. One of them just gives an email and said, send it here. Somebody else had a form on the page with a place to upload. So there's lots of different ways to go about it. So I read the entire submissions page. So I know what I'm getting into. This week, I will start the process of writing a book proposal for myself. I've written book proposals before, but never for me. So I'm going to start writing a book proposal for myself for the first time ever. This is kind of exciting and scary. And so my book proposal, I'm just going to list out a bunch of things that I think should be in a book proposal, just in case someone else out there has considered writing a book proposal. I've got a list here. Book concept, about the book, about the author, about the market, about the competition, production details, about promotion, table of contents, chapter summaries, and maybe some sample chapters. So as I go through this process week by week, I will come out and let you know what I'm working on and what kind of information I'm putting in each section, just in case you want to write a proposal as well, and also just to keep myself accountable and to document the process. So what am I going to do this week? I'm going to try to work on about the book, about the author, about the market, and about the competition. And I think that I'll expect a first draft, right? I don't need any more than a first draft at the end of this week. So if I can get those sections done in first draft, I will be pretty happy with myself. All right. I think that's it for this week. I hope you have a fabulous week. I'd love to know what your wins are or what you're working on. So please leave me a comment and I will see you next Monday.